with football, there's tons of bruises and injuries that that come along with it. It's a physical sport, so there's tons of talent in that room, and it's the next man up mindset. So when you step in there, we're confident that whoever goes in there is going to get the job done.
Well, how has the bye week beneficial to the offensive line, taking a look at things and what you need to improve upon?
Yeah, I've just been big in self-scout. We've been watching all the film from our past games, and most recently the Ole Miss game, and we actually sat down with the running backs and tight ends, and just talked about ways that we can improve and hone in on details, but also getting healthy was big too.
You're a veteran guy. You've played a lot of football. What is not clicking with the rushing game? What needs to happen there?
Yeah, we just lack details. We just lack execution. I can't tell you why that is. We're trying to figure that out. We just got to focus in more, I would say.
Not to get too deep into football talk, but it seems like opposing teams are dropping 8 people back, and if you could run the ball a little better, that would could maybe free up your wide receivers a little bit more. Is that what you're seeing?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, running the ball opens up the rest of the offense. So with the inability to run the ball, teams are gonna drop 8, and then it makes it hard for us and the passing game to get going. So as an old lineman, I take responsibility for that. I feel like that's on us, and we need to be better.
Talk about the injuries a little bit on the offensive line. Can you talk me through a little bit, if there is any, the difficulties of kind of meshing with multiple guys as they get subbed in and out, or whatever the reason may be, and that offensive line moves around?
Yeah, I mean, obviously it's hard when you don't get a ton of reps with a certain guy at guard or a certain guy at tackle, but we can't have excuses. We got to go in there and fight. And the person that goes in there has to know what they're doing. And when they're in there, they got to go. They got to go fight.
You said the communication would be the most difficult thing in that situation.
I wouldn't say communication. I would just say making sure everyone's on the same page, and then knowing the fundamentals and the technique used for the play, because we've had people who was at tackle in fall camp and now they're at guard, or vice versa. So just learning the technique in each position.
South Carolina had 6 sacks in their last game, 10 TFLs. How do you grade their defensive line compared to some of the other D lines you've seen, and how do you keep that clean pocket and your QB on his feet?
Yeah, from watching the film, I think the strength of the defense is the front 7. They got a good front 4, and they got good backers too. So we just got to be very technique sound and hone in on what needs to be done and then go do it. That's the biggest thing. We could talk about it all we want, but we got to actually go do it.
Kerry's turn last week, found out he was getting started. I think Kelly said it was like 30 minutes before due to the injury to West. And you're a guy that's played a lot of football. In your opinion, what you see from him, as a guy like, hey, I'm getting started in the fire as a freshman?
Yeah, usually as a freshman, their first start, you would expect them to be nervous and go out there and kind of play a little hesitant. But it was actually the opposite for him. When he got the nod, he was like, let's go, let's do this. And he played like that. He played physical. He's a big, strong kid, and so when he got his opportunity, he definitely made the most of it.
You've been around the game a while, and the sense of going into a bye week after a loss, is there a different kind of mindset you have to kind of fight through that extra week with no action before you get into your next game?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's tough that we lost. It's obviously not the outcome we wanted, but we know we can't sit and dwell on the loss. We gotta we gotta respond. We gotta have a great 2 weeks of prep because of the bye week, and then we gotta go out there on Saturday and get back on the win column.
What kind of week do you think Garrett's had preparing for this game?
Yeah, he's had a great week. I think the bye week was crucial for him and a lot of the guys to be able to get a little healthier. But he looks great. We just had a practice and he was slinging it out there. So I'm excited for him.
When things aren't clicking, when people say the quarterback takes too much blame, and when things are going well, maybe he gets too much credit. But it really truly is a team thing, all 11, right? I mean,
yeah.
One guy didn't do their job and it can break the whole thing down. Is that what you
Absolutely.
see?
I mean, there's tons of plays throughout our season, not just Ole Miss, that 10 guys are doing the right thing and one guy doesn't do the right thing, and the end result of the play is not good. So you know, everyone has to do their 111th. Everyone has to trust each other that they are going to do their 111th. You know, and then you just got to go execute. You know, that's the biggest thing. Everything comes back to execution. That's really the main theme of things. Got to execute better.
You and Mansoor Delane came over from VT. What's your relationship like with him, and how does it feel, you know, watching him ball out here at LSU?
Yeah, that's my dog. You know, obviously at Tech we didn't have much success. You know, we were there for 3 years and battled every year, and you know, we wanted the best for that program and tried to, you know, take it over the hump. We couldn't get that done. You know, we both were trying to look for a place that we could go help a team win a national championship, and you know, we actually went on our visit together. Sitting at the dinner table, we was just like, man, this is the place to be. We can definitely make a change here. Coming here and watching him have the success he's had is really cool. You know, I'm proud of him.
This is how you envisioned it?
Absolutely, absolutely.
As the one-and-oh mantra kind of helped, you think, in your opinion, the team kind of move along from that loss 2 weeks ago and get ready for this long stretch of SEC games?
Yeah, I want to know is our goal every single week. Like I said in the past, we just can't dwell on the loss. It's a long season. We got 7 more opportunities to go and battle. You know, we need to take advantage of those.
Thanks, Braelin.
Thank you.